I just want to rub my face on it all the time. Well, hello there, and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're doing well wherever you are in the world. I'm back with another episode for you. Thank you so much for bearing with me. Last week I didn't record because life life happens. If you are new here, welcome. This is primarily a channel where I chat about what I'm knitting, what I'm making, and yeah, my husband and I we just moved house, so you know, we're still unpacking, still getting organized and acclimated, and all the good stuff that comes with moving. And last week it was a lot, guys. I'm not gonna lie, and you know, I did take some time off for myself to catch up with a friend who I haven't seen in a very long time, my friend Tanya. So I took a day, we got together and had the best day. I will talk more about this during the episode, but I'm back. I've missed you. This is truly my favorite time in the week, where I just get to sit down, recap everything that I've been doing, everything that I've gotten up to, and just to chat with you guys. But that said, I do have quite a bit to catch you up on. Yeah, I'm looking around me. I have all the things scattered around me. I hope this is going to be a good show, guys. So if knitting, if crochet, if quilting is your jam, you know what I'm going to say. Gather around, grab a cup of something. I've actually got a bottle of Diet Coke today. Taking a break from the coffee this week, but yes, gather around, grab a cup of something, and let's get into things. So, what shall we chat about first? Shall we chat knitting? I feel like it's been a while since we've chatted about knitting. It feels like a while since I've actually sat down and chatted with you, but yeah, let's talk knitting. As I mentioned, I am taking a break. I'm taking a break from my Don't Look Up pullover. That is not interesting to me at the moment, so I'm taking a break from it, letting it marinate in my whips bin. But in the meantime, I did cast on a new pullover. This is the Once and Floral by Maxim Sear. And yeah, slow but steady progress, guys. I cannot wait to get this off the needles. I am so in love with this pattern, the overall look of it. You know, it is color work. I'm not gonna lie, it is a little bit not challenging so much as I have to focus on what my fingers are doing. Because yeah, look at it. It's just it's very involved. But at the same time, you know, I'm very, very pleased with my colorway choices. Not to toot my own horn, but I am knitting with my own hand-dyed yarn. Voolenvine yarns on my new Vo base. Let me see if I can get a better shot of that. Yeah, it's my new Vo base using 3 different colorways. This shaded black up here is, of course, Grim, my all-time favorite go-to colorway because it's black and it goes with everything. And then this peachy beige color right here is Rochester, named after Mr. Rochester from Jane Eyre, one of my favorite books of all time, and Bronte. I mean, yeah. Do you notice a pattern here? Yeah, so anyway. Loving it. So yeah, as I mentioned, there are a few, not many, but there are several rows in here where you are knitting with 3 colorways at the same time. So doing a lot of finger acrobatics while I'm knitting on this, but at the same time, once the yoke is all finished, it's smooth sailing, body island, sleeve island, and I will have a pullover. So yeah, definitely holding my attention. If you look closely, I don't know how well you can see, but my main concern right now is kind of, you know, my gauge. It feels a little wonky. I don't know what it is, but it's true what they say. Like, over the years, your gauge changes a little bit. And I find mine is loosening up a little bit. Maybe it's because as I'm getting older, I'm chilling out just a little bit. I don't know. But as I started knitting this, I noticed that my stitches were getting a little puckery. So to remedy that, I tension the yarn around my fingers differently. In general, when I'm only working with 1 strand of yarn, I have a go-to default way of tensioning the yarn around my fingers. It's, you know, I loop it around a couple times, maybe once or twice, and, you know, it has a nice tension to it. But when I'm working with 2 strands or 3 strands of yarn, I find that I tension the yarn a lot loosely around my fingers just to give it that extra give, because if you look at the floats on the back, yeah, there are a lot of stretches. So when, you know, you can see that there are, you know, a lot of stretches where there's a lot of one color and then not so much of another. So you end up with these very wide gaps of thread in the back, if that makes sense. So I find that loosely tensioning the yarn around your fingers when knitting color work helps loosen up your gauge a little bit, giving that extra slack to those longer floats in the back. I hope that makes sense. But that's been the method to my madness. I know it's still a little puckery up here, but I have faith. I have faith that once this blocks, it'll just kind of loosen up a little bit and those will kind of disappear. So I've knit color work in the past, and this is typically been the case. You know, here and there, you know, I noticed with my Zweig pullover, I noticed still there are a little puckers left near the neckline, but doesn't bother me at all. So I have a funny feeling that that's going to be the case with this project. So as per usual, didn't knit a swatch. We don't typically don't do that unless I'm reverse engineering a pattern. A swatch, I never do. And it actually works out for me because I don't like fitted pullovers. I just like the loose, comfy, you know, oversized pullovers that you can just chuck on and just get on with life. I don't know, but you know what I mean. So yeah, unless you are into knitting fitted pullovers that, you know, fit your person perfectly, then I can see the value in knitting a swatch. But for me, I just like to cast on and go, guys. So I am knitting I believe it's a size 40 bust circumference, 40 inch. So that's going to give me a lot of ease and movement on the inside. I don't know what I'm doing right now, guys. What is this? How are we liking this setup, guys? I don't know. Shooting in front of a window is very new to me, but I kind of like the effect. It's very glowy and sunny, and I don't know, it just makes the whole thing feel a lot more airy. I don't know. I'm still playing around with this craft room, guys. This is still a work in progress. I know last time I mentioned how I was thinking about bringing back the Kallax. I've decided the Kallax isn't going to make a reappearance. If you're not familiar, that was my giant yarn fortress in the previous craft room. It has since been collapsed. The Kallax has been collapsed and is currently in the attic just because it was so huge. The movers had to move it. But having since moved into this craft room, I just feel like it's just going to be too overpowering, and I want to wallpaper. I still have to wallpaper my wall with William Morris wallpaper. It's going to happen, but I'm hiring a professional to do it. So until that happens, I'm still trying to figure out the situation here, but I'm actually very happy with this background. Yeah, let me know what you guys think. But yes, anyway, as I was saying, moving along to crochet, because this is an ongoing project that I randomly picked up right before we moved. My husband and I went to, Dennis had to go to Home Depot, but he went to a location where there was a Michaels, so I'm like, you go to Home Depot, I'm going to Michaels, and they were having a huge sale on Karen Yarn. Karen Yarn, I believe they celebrated, I don't know what anniversary it was, but it was one of their anniversaries, and they came out with these amazing cakes. They're called, just cakes, because get it? Birthday, anniversary, cake. Yarn is cake. So I picked up a plethora of this yarn. This is their crystal cakes. I mean, yeah. This has my name written all over. It's got mauve, it's got black, it's got beige, gray. Oh, it's so good. But yeah, it's got some sparkles in here. This is the Starry Night colorway, and it's 64% acrylic, 24% polyester, 7% nylon, 5% metallic. I mean, it's got all the junk food in here. It's glorious. But at the same time, it is super soft, super stunning, and I am enjoying working with it. So I picked up a couple skeins of these and a couple skeins of their cloud cakes. So that one was crystal cakes. This is cloud cakes. And this feels like chenille, but so much softer. I can't even describe it. It's like chinchilla. It's like a chinchilla, truly. I just want to rub my face on it all the time. But yeah, unlike the other one, this is 100% polyester. But for the junk food content that is in these cakes, I mean, color me impressed. They are super soft and super delightful to work with. And I, browsing the shop, I was turning the cake over and I saw this Afghan pattern on the back of the label. When I saw it, I was like, this looks like such a relaxing and delightful project that I could see myself casting on. So I got enough yarn for it. And again, this has just truly been such a wonderful project to work on during this whole moving process, guys. Like my brain, when too much is going on, my brain just doesn't want to do any of the complicated stuff. It wants to just focus on the simple, easy, and autopilot things. And this is what this project has been for me. And here we are, guys. I believe I have 6 or 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 squares so far, 6 out of 16 that I need to crochet. And I'm currently working, I have the 7th one cast on already. But yeah, look at these. These squares are completely made up of single crochet stitches. Single crochet through the back loop, and you're just increasing down the center here. So super simple, but the colors just like make it look so much what is this? I don't know. And it's just going to be a really nice, simple mitered square throw, because as I'm learning, one cannot have too many throws. And I find in this season of my life, I am really into the throws. I'm into the quilts. I'm into the blanket making. I don't know what's in the water, guys, but it's bringing me so much joy, and I'm just so happy and content to work on these things. And I'm not questioning it. I'm just going with it, going with the flow, and at this point, whatever floats my boat, whatever makes me happy, I'm sticking with it. So yeah, it's a pile, guys. Oh, guys, this is so soft. I think I also mentioned in the previous episode that I wanted to purchase more of this yarn, the Starry Night, so to add on an extra border around. I feel like looking at the pattern in general, I feel like it could just use a little extra something around the edge. So this yarn, as it turns out, it's limited edition. I have not been able to find it on Michael's website or anywhere for that matter. Even Etsy. I think, was I able to find it on Etsy? I wasn't. No, but I did track down 2 skeins of this on eBay. There's a lovely seller selling 2, exactly what I needed of these, and I pounced. And yeah, it came right before we moved, so excellent timing. That was a real gamble, guys. But yeah, it arrived right before we moved, and yeah, so now I have it in my stash, and I can add a border to this Afghan, and I'm very excited about that. I have no idea what kind of border I'm going to add to it. I might just keep it simple and just add a single crochet border around the edge, or I might go a little lacy. I don't know. We shall see. What do you guys think? Should I go lacy or keep it simple, stupid? I don't know. Let me know your thoughts. But I do want to mention that I did pick up some new crochet hooks. When I met my friend Tanya in the city, we went to Annie & Co., which is a LYS in Manhattan. It's on the Upper East Side. I think it's on 92nd Street and 2nd Avenue. They used to have another location that I've been to, and it was kind of dark in there. It's very small and cozy, not too much space to move around. But they have since moved to a new location, and oh my goodness, you guys, it is an absolutely beautiful shop. It's open, it's airy, but at the same time, they have a very, very cozy vibe in there. And Tanya and I, we just hung out and sat at a table and knit and chat for, I don't know how long. I think we were there for like 4 hours. It feels like forever and a day since I've been to an LYS, and it was just so great to go there and chill. But I didn't buy any yarn, believe it or not, but I didn't want to leave empty-handed because I do like to support brick and mortar stores and, LYSs. I did pick up these 2 tulip crochet hooks, and my goodness, you guys, what a difference. I absolutely love these. I was using, these are great too. These are crochet hooks that I picked up from Amazon. They do the job. They've got a nice sturdy grip, but there's something about the tulip that I absolutely love. I think because they are a little smaller. They have a smaller grip because I have tiny lady hands. So these fit in my hand a little nicely, and I can just get in there, where these I'm kind of like stirring the soup, if you will. But again, no complaints about this, but when I saw that they were carrying tulip, I couldn't resist, guys. I picked them up. These are the sizes that I'm using for the Afghan. So I'm using a size, let me see. Yes, so for the cloud cakes, I'm using a size 8, which is a 5mm, and then for the crystal cakes, I'm using a size 7, 4mm. So yay, and bonus, they are pink. I mean, could you just? All right, enough about crochet. Let's move on to the thing that's bringing me so much joy these days, guys. English paper piecing and quilting. I mean, I've legit fall down the quilting rabbit hole hardcore, and I just can't get enough of it. I don't know if you can tell. I don't know if you can tell, but I did, let me see, what did I do with it? I have everything around me, guys. Let me see, the Millefiori quilt, the Passacaglia. This is, I think, done. I think I was halfway done with this border when I showed it off last, but I finished it. I wasn't sure. There is one more row of pentagons and diamonds that I could add, but I think I'll stop there. I don't know. I think it's done. I don't know what this is going to become. I think this was more of just a process, you know, just to make one and see if I liked it. I think if I were to go on and make the full-on Millefiori La Passacaglia quilt, which is completely hand-stitched, English paper pieced. I mean, this is the back. Look at that glorious mess, guys. This is... Every time I flip it over and I look at it, I'm like, I did all this? Like, what is my brand of crazy? This is insane. But at the same time, yeah. Anyway, yeah, this was kind of like my test medallion, my test floret. And if I were to make another one, I will probably use more like neutral shades, more, you know, muted, toned down, because this is really fun and I like the color play in here. My personal taste is definitely not this crazy and loud. So I don't know what this will become. It may become I may applique it onto a cushion or a bag, or I don't know, maybe even just frame it, but we shall see. We shall see what this will grow up to be. But yeah, if you guys are interested at all in making one of these, I did create a printable template for you to download, to purchase and download over on my website, voolenvineyarns.com. So what I did was I hand drew all of the La Passacaglia paper pieces, the exact number of pieces that you need to create one of these. So all you have to do is print it out, cut out the pieces, and then, you know, find your fabric and, you know, begin the English paper piecing process of wrapping the fabric around the paper. So all that tracing and hand drawing has been done for you if you want to give it a crack. However, obviously, the pattern is not included. The pattern is from Millefiori Quilts #1 by Willyne Hammerstein, and this is the pattern on the cover. You just make all these florets, and they all fit together to make one glorious quilt. She does have the pieces in here for you to trace, but you know, again, you have to trace them. So if you want to cut out all that work, definitely check out the PDF that I whipped up. I'll link to it down below for where you can purchase it. So anyway, so yeah, that is my La Passacaglia. I will let you know what I decide to do with the medallion, but that's not where the English paper piecing ends, my friends. Oh no. Before I met up with my friend Tanya, I spent the morning playing around with my Gomi die cutter. That is, I love this thing so much. Guys, I apologize. There is somebody outside with a leaf blower. Leaf blowers are the new motorcycle man. Oh goodness. Anyway, I apologize if you can hear that ambient sound in the background. But yes, anyway, as I was saying, my husband, for my birthday, gifted me this Hexi die cutter for my Gomi die cutter. If you're not familiar, you lie your fabric on this side and some cardstock on this side, and you roll it through the Gomi, and it cuts it all out for you in one fell swoop, and you can just get your English paper piecing on. It's wonderful. But I was browsing Pinterest because, you know, the traditional English paper piecing pattern is the grandmother's garden pattern. If you're not familiar, I'll pop a photo of it here, but it's basically you're sewing together all these hexes in a pattern where, you know, you make colorful flowers, and then it's all surrounded by green green hexis to make it look like a flower patch, if that makes any sense. And while I appreciate it, it's not the look that I'm going for, so I browsed Pinterest for some more inspiration as far as what other patterns I can make with the hexagons. So I did stumble on one pin where it was hexagons and diamonds, and my goodness, you guys, I hopped back onto the Accuquilt website. They were having a sale, as they generally do. I believe it was like 44% off, and they actually had die cuts for the diamonds. So picked up a set of these, and yeah, you have one for your fabric and one for your cardstock. So yeah, and what I like about these is that if you look really closely, they have little holes in the middle. So they'll also, cut out your diamonds and perforate the center. So when you're ready to pull out your paper pieces, you can just either take a crochet hook or, a knitting needle and easily yank them out of, well, not yank them, but gently, gently remove them from the back of your fabric. Some of you have asked me, do you leave the bits of paper in, or do you eventually take them out? You do eventually take them out. So you can leave them in throughout the entire process, or when all the sides of a shape have been surrounded by other shapes, then and only then can you remove the paper, because that little paper holds the shape, obviously, creating a nice sturdy foundation for you to create those whip stitches, and get a nice clean line. I grabbed a bag of scraps, the scraps that I actually had left over from my William Morris quilt, the Kensington kaleidoscope quilt that I made. So I have a whole bag of scraps from there, and I just ran them through the die cut and created a little care package for myself to get started when I met up with my friend Tanya, because English paper piecing is so incredibly portable, my friends. It is ridiculous how portable this is. I mean, I just put it all in a little plastic baggie and had all these little shapes ready to go and just pull out with, some needle and thread. But look at that. How beautiful is that? Just, little tiny hexes. And then I also had some old postcards that I picked up from IKEA. When you go to IKEA and they have the picture section where they have all the paintings and portraits, they also have those, cheapo postcard packs. For some reason I picked up a bunch of ones that, I don't know, they didn't really resonate with me, but they're so pretty nonetheless. And I just ran them through, and you get these really pretty designs, and they're just so pretty to look at, while you're working with your English paper piecing. And some of you did say, when you're done, when you pull out the little bits of paper with the designs on it, you can actually create a paper quilt and, make that into art as well. So I thought that was really clever. So I did get a little something going, and here's where we are. Look at that. Again, I have no idea what this is going to become, my friends. This has just been a meditative work in progress. But it may become a little coin purse or notions pouch, or mug rug. I have my little strawberry thief in the middle. I'm just kind of working around this little motif right there. So I've got some peacock feathers. Yeah, and I got my little diamonds in there, holding it all together. And yeah, it's so much fun, guys. So much fun. I just, if you have not tried English paper piecing and have the least bit of inkling to give it a try, please, just try it, guys. It's so fun. Whatever this is, I'm truly enjoying it. So yay. And I am using, in case you're curious, I am using paste to adhere the fabric to the cardstock. So it's just easy because I realize I'm the person that wants to just get to the sewing and the stitching. So that's how I roll. And although I have been truly enjoying English paper piecing, I have been wanting to make a new quilt, or get a new quilt started. And I, after much doing a lot of browsing on Pinterest, I decided my next quilt project is going to be the Double Wedding Ring Quilt. I know, it's quite ambitious. It's comprised of a lot of curved edges. As a newbie quilter, this feels like a very ambitious project for me, but I'm not scared off, guys. No, I'm not, because while it seems like a massive endeavor, it uses a lot of curved edges. I'm not put off by it because I have worked with curved edges before when I used to sew garments. Sewing princess seams, you know, it's one of those bodices that have it curves in over the bust line like so. It creates like a 3D curved edge. I've been able to tackle that. And if I can tackle that, I can tackle the double wedding quilt. So double wedding ring quilt. So yeah, I'm here for it, guys. And I was browsing online. I did find a free pattern. I'll link to it below, but it does use foundation paper piecing. Unlike English paper piecing, where you're wrapping fabric around paper and sewing the fabric together, with foundation paper piecing, you're actually stitching fabric to paper, and once your piece is completely sewn together, you gently tear the paper from the back. So it's a process that I've tried, and I'm not totally totally here for, because it's kind of I can't describe it, but it's kind of a mind twist for me. I just don't like the actual process of it. But I did stumble on a tutorial by Jordan Fabrics. Donna, the host of that channel, she shows you how to create a double wedding ring quilt using templates, which seems like the path of least resistance in my humble opinion. So she shows you step by step how to create this quilt using the templates, and I was completely sold on the idea of using templates. So purchase them from Amazon. I'll link to them below if you're curious, but here they are. It comes with 4 pieces. And they're bright neon yellow, guys. This will definitely wake you up in the morning if you haven't had your coffee yet. But it has 4 pieces. It's got this one, these 2, and this. So took it for a test drive. I actually just published a vlog showing you my process, sharing my experience working with the templates, so you can see how, you know, it all came together for me to create these 2 quilt blocks. How stinking cool is that? Sewing these quilt blocks was such a satisfying process. I cannot begin to tell you. But if you'd like to see the vlog, it's actually a bonus vlog that I published to my members on the community tab. So if you would like to support this channel, you can do that by becoming a member. Just click the join button right below this video. As I say every week, for a monthly fancy schmancy cup of joe, you can enjoy some extra bonus content from yours truly, including the vlog where I sew this together using the templates. So, you know, you can see the step-by-step process and my creative process for putting all these colors and patches together. But yeah, just a truly satisfying and gratifying process all around. I mean, look at the back. It's just, this isn't perfect. Again, this was my first rodeo with using these templates. So I'm, you know, after making a test run with this, I can definitely see where I have to pay a little more attention to the seam joins. But for the most part, yeah. And I'm using, if this fabric looks familiar, I'm using the leftover fabric from the Passacaglia. I don't know if this will grow up to become a big quilt. It may, because I cut out all the pieces and I might just make a little lap throw with it, but the main fabric that I do want to use to make the actual real deal quilt using the templates, it's the Exquisite Fabric Color Story by Jerry Robinson of Planted Seed Design. And yeah, I mean, can you see? I'm typically not a red person, but at the same time, this had a lot of mauves, grays, yeah, there's even some metallic in here that's really pretty. Ooh, yeah. So I think I'm going to make a couple more blocks of these just to, you know, get acclimated with it and, you know, get used to piecing this together, and then start cutting into this fabric, because it's absolutely, like, so pretty, guys. And I have the backing fabric for it too, or the background fabric, which is just going to be white. Just going to keep it simple and white. And yeah, I'll have a nice double wedding ring quilt. No one that I know is getting married, but I just like the pattern. I think it's beautiful. And yeah, I just want to try my hand at it. So anyway, that, I believe, is all the creative content that I have to share with you, my friends. Yeah. Oh, I do want to mention that when you get the templates, I will link to it down below. It's, you know, I got this off of Amazon, but it comes with a pattern and it shows you how to assemble the wedding quilt step by step, which I find very, very handy. So anyway, yeah, I'll link to that below. But yeah, all right. As for life stuff, as I mentioned, yeah, Dennis and I, we are continuing to get organized and get settled in. We had a lot of stuff done, or we're having a lot of stuff done around the house. The inside of the house is, for the most part, completely renovated, so not much has to happen inside, but outside, My gosh, guys, we had a couple of trees taken down this week. There were several trees around the house, I think like 2 or 3 that were either dead or on their way out, so they had to come out. So that was fun. And then we also have to have some of the plaster. This house is actually a Tudor revival, so the exterior has, I don't know what it's actually called, but it's like plaster. And there are a couple of cracks here and there that need to be patched up, so that's gonna happen. The windows need to be reflashed. I don't know what like the previous owner, I don't know. They didn't really take care of the windows, so we've got to reseal some of the outside, and goodness, and the roof. Oh my gosh, guys, the roof. I don't know if you can see it out here, but I never knew I could love a roof so much. It's slate. I don't know if it's the original, but it is actual real slate. So the decision that we have to make is, you know, do we want to continue to use real slate, just patch up the areas that need to be replaced with real slate, which I like the idea of, but it's just going to become an ongoing process. So the other option is to redo the entire roof using synthetic slate, which, while it's not real slate, it's definitely going to save us a lot of heartache down, or, you know, like it's definitely going to save us a headache down the road. And it actually looks like the real thing. So we're leaning towards that. But anyway, yeah, like, you guys want to hear about this. I don't know. If you're still here, thanks. But yeah, so that's going to happen. We've got to start gardening and planting things. Dennis and I have been making a plethora of trips to Home Depot. My least favorite places in the whole entire world have to be going to the doctor's office, the dentist, and Home Depot. I think that's up there. So while Dennis goes off and picks up his tools, I do the girly thing. I go to the garden center and, you know, pick up plants and stuff. So I got a whole bunch of, I got irises. I love irises, guys. So yeah, we're gonna plant some irises. I got these lilies that are this very, very beautiful gothic shade of purple. I am very excited. So I have a black thumb, so I'm going to have to see if I can get Dennis to get his hands dirty this weekend and plant them for me. Because yeah, I just cannot be trusted with plants. I like looking at them and, you know, going ooh and ah. This plant right here, I have high hopes. The orchid, I have high hopes that I can keep it alive, but we shall see. So that's what's been happening. I mean, my craft room, I have no idea what's going on. I'm stumped, guys. Frankly, I am stumped. I don't know how to organize this room, but I do know wallpaper is going up on that back wall right there behind the camera. We're gonna do the wallpaper. I need some more storage. An IKEA trip might need to happen. IKEA just came out with some really cool furniture that I am actually really excited about. So I don't know, I might take a look at that stuff and see if I can do anything with that. Anyway, I'm rambling at this point, as I usually do at the end of the episode. If you are still here, my goodness, thank you so much for hanging out with me. If you're new here, welcome. If you haven't already, feel free to like and subscribe down below. I'm putting up videos for your viewing pleasure every week. And until the next one, have an amazing weekend, and I'll see you next time. Bye.